All right. Shout out to the mighty Who Dat Nation. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. What's poppin', fam? How y'all doing? Happy Monday. Happy start of your week. And a happy start. Now, this is the start of the process as the Saints can fire, kick in this caboose, cut, wave, eject, whatever you got that's tied to those words. The Saints do it to Dennis Allen. This should have happened last year, but it's official. We started off, we talked about it on the stream that when he lost to the Carolina Panthers, that sealed his fate. Guys on Twitter cutting up, X, whatever the case is, lost the locker room. And it just didn't happen with this game. This been happening. It snowballed into destruction. And the Saints did the right move. And like I said, this is a sign of the times. You can't sit up here and ignore what's happened to the team. The only problem is it a season? What's the thought process moving forward after the season? But we'll get to that. Quick flash report here. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the share button. Much love to you guys. Appreciate you on this quick report here. I'll be going live later on today with reaction from the Saints faithful, the Who Dat Nation, the great Saint think tank. We'll be covering this later on tonight. Saints fired Dennis Allen after losing their 7th straight game. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported. Several people reported it. Saints won the first 2 games, but haven't won since. The latest coming to the loss to Carolina, 23-22. And it just horrible. And of course, Darren Rizzi, according to what's her name? Dianna. What's her name? I forgot the woman's name. I'm sorry. Russini. Dianna Russini is reporting that special teams coordinator Darren Rizzi. Now, I wasn't expecting Rizzi to be out. I thought it'd be somebody else, but that's fine. We'll see what Darren Rizzi could do. I like Darren Rizzi's passion, to be honest with you. Maybe he could spark something. I don't know if this will lead to anything. You can't totally kick the timeline out because you're still trapped with contracts. So you got to do something with this stuff. And of course, the trade deadline is coming up. So is this firing, even though it was supposed to happen, a couple of weeks ago, it's supposed to happen last year. How does it affect the timeline, and how does it affect what's going to happen with the trade deadline? Do the Saints have a fire sale? I don't think they trade Lattimore. I don't think they do it because of so many injuries happening with the secondary. We'll see what happens, man. We don't know what the thought process is because I don't think they know what's going on. Mickey Loomis don't know nothing. But what we do know is that Dennis Allen ain't our coach no more, and I'm happy for that. So this is the first midseason firing that Saints have had since Tom Benson purchased the team in 1985. The last in-season firing occurred when Dick Nolan was fired after an 0-12 start to the 3rd season in 1980. The team also made an in-season coaching change in 96 when Jim Moore resigned after a 2-6 start and went 1-7 under Rick Venturi. Allen, who replaced Peyton as the coach, went 18-25 as the team's coach, and it just was ridiculous. This is the first time the Saints have lost 7 straight games since 1999. The team went 3-13 that season and fired coach Mike Ditka and general manager Bill Kuharich. Remember them old throwback names. Saints general manager Slick Mickey Loomis defended Allen in January after the Saints finished 9-8, citing several of Hall of Fame coaches who had slow starts. Bill Belichick, 95, 78, 78. All Hall of Fame coaches. Now, what do you think about that, Loomis? Instead, the Saints have made several sweeping changes to offensive staff and parted ways with longtime offensive coordinator Pete the Rat Carmichael. While Allen inherited much of former coach Peyton's staff when he took over in 22, most of the coaching staff had been hired by Allen by his 3rd season. So Derek Carr signed with the Saints in 2023 and was also on Allen's selection from the 2014 draft. Allen went 8-28 as the coach of the Raiders and was fired after an 0-4 start in his 3rd season. So history repeats itself for Dennis Allen because he don't learn nothing. Loomis also defended Allen again recently, saying everyone needed to look beyond the results. Alluding to the significant number of injuries the Saints had this season. Some of those injuries included Carr, several starting offensive linemen, and top wide receivers Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave. Olave sustained his 2nd concussion in the season. Sunday's loss drawing a rant from Michael Thomas, who appeared to blame Carr for Olave's injuries in a series of posts on X. Loomis, however, couldn't defend Allen after a loss to the Panthers, who had one win coming into Sunday's matchup. The Saints fell to last place in total defense before the Panthers matchup. The Saints fan base, which showed its displeasure by leaving the Caesar Superdome in droves during the 33-10 loss to the Broncos and Peyton's Week 7, clamored again on social media for Allen's firing. So with that being said, they get him the hell out of here, and he will eventually, I'll tell you the future on Dennis Allen. It involves Denver, it involves Sean Payton, and it involves him eventually going back. Now, we heard one of the reporters from Times-Picayune, I think it was, I can't remember the man's name, but Duncan, that's his name, Duncan. He reported that the contract was reportedly, they can't confirm it now because they never released it, but this is Inside Baseball saying it was a 5-year deal estimated at $7 million a year, which is way too much for a guy with a losing record. So in the end, we don't care about that. Now that Darren Rizzi's here, Dennis Allen is history. Now we go about the business of building the Saints into a contender again. With all these contracts that Mickey Loomis, remember, Dennis Allen was the small chump in the room. The big chump is Mickey Loomis. The decision maker was Mickey Loomis. There would be no Dennis Allen if it wasn't for Mickey Loomis. Mickey Loomis is responsible for the 80-something plus million in the red you'll be dealing with next year where you can't function in free agency, which you'll have to rework contracts just to sign some of these guys and to sign his draft picks, which means you have to kick even more money into the following year. So you won't see relief, really a lot of relief, until the third year. He told you too, it's a lie. It's 3 years before you start seeing a significant reduction in the cap. So the Saints will have to hit in the draft, which they haven't been able to do, and they'll have to hit in the undrafted aspect, which they have been hitting in. So a lot of older players, team fell through the flow. Darren Rizzi steps in. Is it time for a rebuild or this such and such? Like I said, you can't totally go into a rebuild process because you still are held to these contracts with these older players. So we'll see how it all goes with the direction of the team because they'll have to figure this out. Mickey Loomis doesn't have a direction. He doesn't know what he's doing. So anybody, his decision making is bad. Anytime a general manager sit up here and jazzy Jeff hard for this losing ass coach and then have to fire him, that guy don't know what he's doing. His judgment is impaired and shouldn't be trusted. Now the next move should be involving the Saints taking away Mickey Loomis as the general manager and put somebody else there to fix the mess that he's done to this team. So Dennis Allen was the little domino to fall. Mickey Loomis needs to be replaced as the general manager. Let him keep his VP job, but take the general manager position away from him and give it to somebody else so he can be about the business of repairing and fixing what the Saints are. With that being said, I'm going to get out on that. Y'all tell me y'all thoughts in the section below, in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're into this season. Sitting up here 2-7, 7-game losing streak. Dennis Allen is out of here. He should have been fired early. Now the focus is on Mickey Loomis and keeping it on him as the Saints move forward to try to salvage whatever's left of this season. I'm Big Q. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'm holler at y'all on the next one. Peace, and who dat?